Podouken! All right, so we're going to jump into some listener questions. The first one's not really a question, but I don't care because we're going to talk about it anyways. Bizarro8 says, 4-player miniseries recording on the day the Fantastic Four trailer releases. Hope they jump on that topic for a few moments. Yes, we will. I don't know about you guys. Jared, have you watched it? I don't know your interest or involvement in MCU stuff.
It looks like it came out 60 years ago, so it's right up your alley.
Yeah. I, for one, I hate this because I'm getting really excited because I loved the trailer. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to Marvel comics, but I've always liked the Fantastic Four. It's like cheesy, but in like a fun way.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like the first two movies that came out. I think they had some cool stuff in them, but overall, I didn't really like the movies all that much.
They were Fox Marvel movies.
Yeah,
right.
I was going to say they were pre.
I liked what they did with the Silver Surfer. Everything else is pretty horrible to me. But this one, like, I love like the aesthetic of it. I really like how the thing looks. How it looks like an actual like comic page. It's not for. Hey, I get it. I like it. I like the suits. It just looks really, really fun to me. And you get a glimpse of Galactus in it, which to me, again, he looks awesome. Now I hope they do it. I hope they do something cool with it, and it's not some cheesy like the Mandarin thing that they did with Iron Man, where it's like he shows up, trips over a rock, and dies or something like that. But to me, it looks really, really fun. It looks like they did a good job with it. I'm really hopeful for it.
I learned after my reaction to Heath Ledger getting cast as Joker for Dark Knight that I will never base my reactions off before there's enough material there to actually like give it a chance and look at. Right. I'm never gonna like short shrift it because I kind of did that. I was like, Heath Ledger, the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah,
how's that going to be a good Joker? And it was like phenomenal, right?
Yeah, he was very good.
Whole movie's great. So yeah, it looks good. The trailer today. There's definitely some things in it that gave me pause. I think the biggest thing is seeing Thing in his motion.
Yeah,
and how
it's a little weird.
I get he's made out of rock. He's not the most like
He's not agile.
Right. Like his face isn't going to move.
Sure.
His inflection, but it seemed very stiff in his mannerisms. Like when he goes to taste the sauce, it was unnatural. The movement felt very unnatural. Again, we're talking about a rock monster now.
Right.
What do I have to base
it? Dork made out of orange rock?
There's not uncanny Thing Valley here.
Right,
I don't know what to base this off of. It just looked off to me, and the way that he was animated looked very, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that from a hesitancy as opposed to a criticism.
Sure.
Like I'm not going to jump on this like people are jumping on the Superman stuff and be like, oh my God, look at his face. It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked like Don Draper might be a villain in it.
Yeah. Could be.
He
might be Galactus.
It also looked like Galactus is getting ready to have a rock and sock'em robot fight with the Statue of Liberty at the end.
I'm fine with that too.
So I got a size question. Galactus a little small in this? That was my first instinct when I saw not the shadow, but the actual like
when he's near the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was thinking he'd be bigger.
Well, I'm assuming that he has a way to shrink or grow would be my assumption, but I don't know enough about it.
In the comics, he's always, one size that I recall. But
yeah, that's the thing is I don't know enough about it. I've always just liked the idea of a character that his whole thing is just to fly around and eat planets. It's pretty awesome.
He just wants to eat.
Yeah.
He eats to feel.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, I don't know. I just that last space cloud really bummed me out. That's why I went to that movie, was to see that. I wanted to see him eat the planet, or at least like try, and we didn't get that. We got essentially a smoky Unicron.
Yeah,
not great.
Or Fought from Rick and Morty.
I am Fought.
Just devourer of worlds.
I just watched it with closed caption, so I wasn't disturbing the recording, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, visually, I think it looks amazing.
I love that they're doing something different.
Yeah,
comic-wise, I always enjoyed Fantastic Four, so like I was pretty bummed so far with the movie.
That it's unadaptable.
Well, yes.
Well, the rumor is, this takes place, and maybe this is already common knowledge, but what I was reading is basically this takes place in a different multiverse or whatever, and essentially what I'm, the theory is their multiverse gets destroyed by Galactus and they end up in ours, and that's the introduction of the Fantastic Four to
There's some
MCU
stuff
or
like that,
whatever.
like the new Ultimates is kind of doing that
'Cause,
too,
like-
where like the Maker is
Yeah.
actually Reed Richards, but he's destroyed all the things, and they were forced to go into another reality, and then
Right.
all that kind of
Well, they were
stuff. So-
pointing out, like, if you look at like the sky, like the New York skyline, like the buildings are different
Yeah.
than the ones that we have. So like that's the proof that it's like a different, universe.
Oh, it's
whatever.
100% like the world of tomorrow,
Yeah.
the city of tomorrow
It's
type
Disney.
stuff. Yeah,
It's so good.
it very much feels like that. Like
Yeah.
if Epcot
yeah, the wheel
was-
of progress or
right.
whatever. Yeah,
was responsible for creating the Fantastic Four.
yeah.
I just want to
It's
see.
a
carousel.
not a wheel.
Oh,
but-
sorry, carousel of progress. You're right. My fault.
I just want to
It
see.
felt wrong when I said it.
A capable Fantastic Four movie. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is one of the biggest properties in all of comics
Yeah.
that has fallen off a cliff, frankly, because it's been done dirty multiple times for movies. You had
Yeah.
Roger Corman.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well-
anybody's ever seen that, but
Oh yeah.
at least they got the Human Torch right in this, because in the Roger Corman version, the Human Torch flies off into space. I think that went through. In this one, it shows him like getting high in the atmosphere and like
Oh, right.
extinguishing and then
Oxygen.
falling back down. Also, is that like is that actor somehow, the Human Torch actor, somehow related to Robert Downey Jr.? Because he looks just like a young Robert Downey
He
Jr.
kind of does. He
Like a
kinda-
lot in the face.
It's the kid from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But
just used to seeing
still-
him with like long hair. No, he definitely has that like
I didn't recognize him without him playing Metallica.
baby face.
Maybe that's just me. But
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping that they show the surfer soon, because I heard that like the main surfer is a lady, and then
Yeah.
the rumor was that there might be 2 or 3. different
it's the
surfers.
actress from Ozark, which is
Yeah,
she's really good.
I never saw Ozark, so I didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know of her, but I'm hoping that they do a good job with it. Because again, I think that's the best thing about the other Fantastic Four movie. I thought they did a good job with the Silver Surfer, like how they animated
they did,
him, and,
yeah.
and like
He
how
went through his board. Yeah.
Dude, that shit's it's so awesome. It's so good. It's like always one of my favorite things is Galactus and the Silver Surfer. It's such a weird thing, but it's so awesome.
Did it bother you that Mr. Fantastic didn't use his powers at all in the entire trailer?
A little bit. It did bother me. Like you got to see obviously the Thing. You got to see the Flame. You got to see Invisible Woman.
Or not?
Well, you got to see
I
her
know,
like
yeah.
Twitch or whatever. And yeah, you didn't really get to see it at all. So
Yeah, it was out of place because they showed everybody else's, so it felt a little off.
So I'm wondering, I think that you probably won't get a full origin story. I think you'll probably get the origin in like flashbacks.
yeah.
And it's not going to be a full redo, blah blah blah. But yeah, it was a little weird that they didn't show it, and I'm wondering if there's a reason why. Like maybe that's part of it. Is he's like power incompetent or something? I don't know. Like,
Well, at least I hope they don't go the Miss Marvel route and be like, you know what? We're going to change the whole power set now.
Yeah.
She's no longer embiggening because that's too close to another character. She's going to have like a cool like purple power, pink powers, or whatever it is that she can envision. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It is. I didn't really think about that before. But yeah, you're right. You really don't get. At least I didn't notice any sign of it.
Maybe they're still working on CGI.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad they made Thing full CG this time. Like the suit was, it had pros and cons. I think.
Yeah, I kind of appreciate the Fox Michael Chiklis suit.
I think
because
of its time, it did a good.
it looked to me very good. I
For
get
its
that
time,
it
I
wasn't.
think it did. Yeah.
But I mean, what the complaints were like, oh well, look, he looks stiff, and he looks
Get in the suit and walk.
Look at this trailer, and he looks even stiffer. The CGI version looks even stiffer.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I do like the guy that's most known for being in a high intensity cooking show.
They did that on purpose.
That being
They
the clip of
won-
it, he's tasting sauce and like
1,000% did that on purpose. I like the little robot with the reel to reel
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
That was really cool. I hope that they make a toy of that because I will get that. But yeah, they 1,000% did that on purpose.
I would think so.
Yeah,
have to.
There's
be.
no doubt about it. But no, I'm hopeful for it. But I don't want a Spider-Man 3 myself, where I get super pumped and hopeful, and I slap myself in the head, going ugh, in the theater.
So, I don't know if you've seen this either, but the new Superman trailers. No,
I've
Okay,
seen.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Now, mind you, so the listeners are aware.
Uh-huh.
If you're on Discord, you already know this. I don't give a shit about Superman.
You don't like any DC people. It seems you hate
Um,
Batman.
I don't hate Batman. I just don't understand the love for Batman. I don't
We've had
get it.
discussions. You hate Batman. You hate everything that Batman stands for and represents.
He's a puss. Yeah.
So I think. So what DC characters do you like? I know Zack Snyder's Aquaman, but
No, I don't know. I'd have to look at like a list of DC. I don't think I like any of them.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the question's kind of moot because I was going to
Well-
say, which one are you more excited for, Fantastic Four or Superman?
Oh, Fantastic Four for sure. I will say this though, watching the Superman trailer, it looks much better than I thought it would, and I think that's the magic of James Gunn. I think he has a way of cinematically doing things that are like different. I don't know how to explain it. Like he has like different shots. I like the people were complaining about the shot of him like flying. I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool. Like
I'd never seen Superman do a barrel roll.
that's what I'm saying. Like why would he not do that stuff? That's
I don't
what
know.
that's what we would do.
I expected to hear like
Yeah, like it
on there after that.
No, like I thought that was cool. It was cool seeing the dog. I don't know much about
Yeah,
the
crypto.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was cool seeing that and like
I can't wait for the cryptocurrency to come out.
all right, I'm done. No, like watching that trailer as someone who has zero interest in the character or that world, I thought it looked good. Like I'd probably go to the theater and watch that one.
Yeah.
And like coming from someone who doesn't care, like I think that's pretty good. Now, again, I don't. I hope that they do something to not make him as much of a Boy Scout, but you don't really know. We'll see.
I think Gunn's strengths come from giving humanity to the things you think
Right.
are most void of humanity.
Yeah.
And as far as characters go, Superman has always been one of the most ones that are devoid of humanity with it, right? So you get some great representations that insert humanity into his character in the first Superman movies. I think Superman Return did that very well.
Mm-hmm.
But this looks like an opportunity for that. So I think I'm actually more excited for Superman
Yeah.
than I am for
Visually, it looked nice. Like
Fantastic Four.
Like some of the
Because I'm
shots
very
look awesome.
apprehensive about Fantastic Four. Not that I don't think it's going to be good.
I am too, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic about Fantastic Four, but that trailer did make me happy. I really liked the way, like, I don't know, it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
I like that like 60s like design
Aesthetic
of stuff.
and
yeah,
everything, yeah.
super good. But yeah, no, Superman looked really good too. I didn't really, again, I don't understand people's criticism of it, but I'm not a
either.
fan of it. So like I don't get like the first thing I remember people complaining about was like they didn't like the suit. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know enough about it. It looks fine to me. Is it like what don't they like about it? It's too bright or like
You know what? It's red and blue,
yeah.
and it's got an S on the front. That's good enough for me.
Well,
I don't
I'm the
care
same
what
way.
type of collar it has or where the stitching resides.
I'm
or
just saying, like I will say this though.
I
To
do
be
understand
fair,
the briefs outs, the underwear outside the
It's weird.
boxer or that
It's-
thing. But
it's
yeah,
weird. But like I will say, like I like certain spider suits better than others. So like I can understand the criticism, but I didn't. For someone who doesn't really know the difference, like I know like the Batman versus Superman suit, like those kind of suits looked more like dirty and gritty or whatever. This looks more like comic booky,
Yeah.
which I think is good. Like I think it's a good thing to go into that, make it feel more like a comic.
I don't put a lot of stock in it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's just
It's not the deep low cut of the Nicolas Cage Superman one where it's like, hey, I want to show shoulders and it's the Krypton fashion was all halter tops.
Yeah, that's a rough one. But no, I'm looking forward to it. We do have next. What is it? Captain America's next.
Yes,
That's
and
like
then
2
I think
weeks, right?
Thunderbolts
Oh, is it
in
that
May.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have Captain America end of February or middle of February, Thunderbolts, and then Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
Or is Superman before Fantastic Four? I don't remember when Superman comes out.
I don't know for sure either.
I think
don't know if I've
it's
seen it.
Fantastic Four then Superman. I think. But after Fantastic Four, I don't know what's after that.
I think Marvel's going to see if they're still in business, if the MCU's still a thing.
Well, I think they'll still be in business, but I think it might be the Avengers, right? The next Avengers movie. I don't think they're doing anything before the Robert Downey Jr. That's right. I don't know, man.
Just think if he shows up in the Fantastic Four. as the Doom variant there.
My guess is the movie happens, something or whatever happens in the middle of the movie, the end of the movie, they end up in our MCU. Some shenanigans happen, and they end up in the Robert.
I hope it's described like that.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, they end up somehow in the reality with the Invincible Iron Man, or that storyline where he becomes Doom. Something's going to happen with the multiverse where they end up in a entanglement of whatever.
Do they play some of that? What's that British where they're always chasing somebody around?
Oh, the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, the Benny Hill music, and then they're like some shenanigans happen.
I mean, I don't know how else they're going to do it. That would be my guess.
We got some MacGuffins, we got some shenanigans, and boom, yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom.
I mean, that's what it feels like.
It does. It feels completely unhinged.
Yeah, it feels like it. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What can we do to get their money again? Oh, I know. And then he wasn't thrown out the conference room window when he suggested it.
Yeah.
So
the rumor is in Captain America, the Celestial that like in the Eternals that like didn't fully come out. Like they're mining it, and I guess that's where adamantium comes from, and that's the introduction of it into the MCU. That's what I read. Who knows how true it is? Yeah. But that's kind of what some of the fighting in the movies about is people getting hold of the adamantium. So it could be neat. Hopefully
why do they mine it?
I don't know, man.
What's the pickaxe made out of?
I don't know, man.
These are the
what do you cut
questions.
the strongest metal with?
That's a great question. You'd have to use like a laser or something, right? Or something very, very hot. Can you melt?
No, because I mean,
melt,
like,
right?
well, I guess technically Cyclops' optic beam isn't a laser; it's pure kinetic force. But let's say Wolverine has in the comics refracted lasers off his claws and stuff like that to do stuff.
Like a Gundam shield or an Evangelion shield, would it hold up over time though under that heat?
Well, the heat's the only way that it's been shown in past movies to be malleable. That's how it was heated up
and then melted
and then used to inject into Wolverine, and then
they
cooled.
They're going to use the Hadron Collider to create black holes around the chunks they need. I got nothing. I don't know.
I hope that's not the case because that's
I just know that in that one scene in the background, you see it for like a split second. They're at like there's people on or at least like there's things around the Celestial. So it has something.
I'm glad they're finally like
being like doing something about it.
Remember that movie that 3 people saw?
That movie
where the giant thing happened. Well,
that was a rough watch. Like I didn't go to the theater. I think that's probably the only Marvel movie I didn't go to the theater and see, and that was the right decision. That was a rough one. It wasn't very good.
It was no John Carter.
I still haven't.
I know.
I need to watch it. I'm sorry.
Didn't pull up
John
Disney
Carter
Plus.
Mars.
Sorry.
I don't think we had anything else. Let me see.
I think that's about it for.
That's good. We had a long episode.
Yeah.
Good discussion on the question there.
Yeah.
All hinging around a current event trailer.
Yeah, this will be old news. There'll probably be 6 more trailers by the time this comes out.
All right, so I believe that's going to wrap us up for this episode. Jared, where can I find you?
Sleeping from now until the next recording.
You know you're going to hop back on there and try to do a full run through with Magic User.
With a thief, so I can steal stuff from all the bosses.
So good.
Yeah.
Adam, where can I find you?
Twitch.tv/PastBlaster. Started streaming pinball again.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, I know. Going to be doing some more of that up here at the arcade. Maybe you guys will come up on a off Monday night if Rob's not editing and Jared's not sleeping. Get some pinball games in and hang out. So we had some listeners jump in on the chat and kind of hang out. But do that, and I'm going to be streaming some arcade games. Going to probably do what we talked about and stream that name generator thing and see if we can't figure out what we can and can't have.
Decipher the code.
Sounds like it'd actually be a fun thing to do for a little bit. So you can check me out there and also on YouTube.
How many bits will it take to get listener suggestions applied to the...
That's a good idea. We can do that. We can use channel points, and then you can suggest names.
Suggest some names.
Although
just make sure to filter in the channel.
I think Twitch might filter out some of them for me, so we'll have to see.
All right, and if you like what you heard today, I don't know why you would, but if you did like it, you liked learning about D&D and companies and editions and how we got to 2 of the best beat-em-ups made that were connected to the D&D universe, feel free to subscribe, review, all that fun stuff to Podouken. we would appreciate it. And yeah, I guess you can join us next time when we're going to say a fond farewell to the arcade beat 'em up genre in the only way we know how, by talking about an 8-player racing game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
See y'all next time.
See ya.
Later.